or shine, this Seattle family loves to be outside, so it's time to give their drab backyard a little pizzazz.
This pool isn't really what we had in mind for a water feature.
Find out who can create an outdoor family wonderland, next on Landscapers Challenge. Jason and Rebecca Horning and their sons Logan, Blake, and baby Devin enjoy their peaceful home in Bellevue, Washington. Their house sits at the end of a long, quiet drive in a park-like setting. But only minutes away are downtown Seattle, the mountains, and the Pacific Ocean. Jason and Rebecca are outdoorsy types, but with 3 small children, it's not easy to get away. So they want to bring the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest home and create an outdoor wonderland behind their house the whole family can enjoy.
Look what they did.
We plan on living here forever. I want my children to grow up here, so I love this house.
We want to finish the house now. The outside is what needs to be done to finish it. I think the finish yard is going to reflect our personality, to show that we're outdoorsy people and that we're people that have a bit of whimsy in our lives, and we don't take everything so serious that we have to have formal gardens. We want something that's fun and makes people in the yard feel like they're out in the wilderness a little bit.
The Hornings' backyard has a large wooden deck that cuts off the view to the long, narrow yard.
Over here we have an eating area. It's a slightly informal eating area, but it's not very comfortable and we don't use it very often.
We have an area over here. It's kind of with Henry's bed, our dog, and his food, and it's just a mess.
So our deck is really large, but it doesn't have a lot of flow to it. And we really envision having something that doesn't have barriers to the yard, such as this large railing.
We have 2 very active little boys, and they like to do lots of things, bubbles, and we have a puppet show right here.
Yesterday it was a bat cave, today it's a puppet show.
We like to find an area for them to keep all their toys.
We've got toy cars that they drive around the yard in, and we need a parking place for them. Because this is supposed to be my area. This is my barbecue, and I spend a lot of time out here barbecuing.
They'd also like to create a more natural play area for the kids in the yard.
They just love working with boulders and rocks and picking up rocks and finding bugs. So this area here just seems to really fit into that mold.
The Hornings have a play set that Jason and his dad built.
The children really love it, so we definitely want to keep it. I mean, they can move it anywhere they want, but we definitely want to keep it.
Eventually, Jason and Rebecca would love to install a hot tub, but for now, they'd be happy with a new water feature for the yard.
I'd like to show you our current water feature. The kids love it, but this pool isn't really what we had in mind for a water feature. And so we'd like to get rid of it and maybe replace it with something with a waterfall and a stream that flows through some boulders and a real nice natural feel.
They would also be willing to get rid of some of their grassy lawn in order to create pathways to different sitting and eating areas.
Yeah, we like some entertainment areas, and paths really invite people into specific areas. And that's really what we're looking for. We want to invite people to enjoy the yard instead of repel people from going to different areas in the yard.
Finally, they hope to brighten up the garden with plants.
We would love for new plants and color. We love color.
With a $45,000 budget, Jason and Rebecca hope one of our talented designers will transform their drab backyard into an enchanted outdoor entertainment space. First up is Brandon Scott Peterson. Brandon is an award-winning designer who uses a hands-on approach to garden design. He loves finding ways to use rocks and plants that are native to the Northwest.
I am inspired in Seattle by the nature surrounding us and looking to the mountains at all times, and a lot of my design is recreating nature on a smaller scale. I hope to create a really natural landscape in the Hornings' backyard. This property here has a really large grass area, and the area that I'm focusing on and designing will need to integrate into this lawn. And so what I'm looking at is a way to make this flow together.
Next is the design team of Jamie Fleckenstein and Chad Wickers. While Jamie brings vision to their design projects, Chad finds a practical way to make it happen.
The key to a good design, I think, is an element of simplicity.
I think another thing is to make it cohesive in the design. The overall product makes it look like everything is tied together.
One thing to consider when removing a deck like this is going to be the elevation change between the door and the existing elevation in the yard.
But one of the nice things about that is it gives us an opportunity to kind of use that elevation to create steps and terraces that they can use for outdoor seating or entertaining.
Last up is landscape designer Rick Perry, who specializes in creating personal and balanced garden oases.
Seattle natives do really take advantage of being outside. Everybody wants to get out and get about, and so that tends to transfer also into their gardens. So Becca and Jason have 3 young children, so there's lots of things for them to play with in the garden. But because it's so narrow, it seems like clutter. One idea I had is to try and move it all into one spot and hopefully, fix the problem that way.
All of our designers have a good grasp of what the Hornings want, but which one has what it takes to make it happen?
I would like to place a really large stone.
We propose to add a toy garage to the side of your shed.
And what we're going to do is completely remove the deck.
This program brought to you by Silk Soy Milk. Silk, beyond.
And Rebecca Horning love living in the Seattle area. Now they're hoping to bring some of the beauty and fun of the Pacific Northwest into their own backyard. First up is Brandon Scott Peterson. His design carries out the playful theme the Hornings want with a miniature landscape that includes a hilly or mountainous terrain and plenty of plants.
Walking out the door, I would like to place a really large stone once we remove the deck, obviously. The large stone step that will come out at the elevation of the house will come out to possibly about right here and then going down about 7 inches over to the patio.
Brandon's plan also takes into account the area where a hot tub will go in the future.